Hey, what's up guys, Vlad here. Today I got something not so usual from Edifier. I got their MR4 studio monitoring speakers. This is their first take on a budget-ish studio monitoring speakers geared towards music producers and content creators, as these are great for video editing as well as for monitoring the sound precisely. I can't get away from the fact that these look almost exactly like PreSonus Eris E3.5 speakers, which I have been using for years now, so I will try my best to compare MR4 speakers to them. So in the box you will get the speakers, quick start guide and only the basic cables to get you started. By basic I mean that you will get a regular 3.5 to stereo RC output cable, which will allow you to connect these speakers directly to your computer, as this is the universal audio connection. I'll get back to this a bit later to explain something else here. And you get the cable which connects right to left speaker. There is no remote controller for these speakers nor the wireless connectivity. Build quality is excellent for this price range and the design is kept to the traditional studio monitoring look. That means that in the front there is no grill, there are only connections for auxiliary 3.5 input if you want to connect a phone, for example, to quickly have a listen to something. There is also a 3.5 headphone jack and a volume knob, which also is used for two other functions. So while pressed once and holding, it acts as a power on and off button and the indicator light will shine red, but if you double press it while turned on, the light indicator will light green, and this means that they are now in the music mode. What this basically does, it activates DSP processing which these speakers have when engaged in music mode, and it applies a little bit of EQ to them, giving them a richer sound. These speakers have Texas Instruments high-quality analog-to-digital converter chipset, signal-to-noise ratio up to 99 decibels with Texas Instruments digital power amplifier TAS5713 and the use of its built-in DSP to complete sound adjustment to ensure excellent performance under dual mode. These speakers are intended for studio monitoring, so without this mode they have a flat sound response, which is actually great when producing music or doing video editing, as the flat sound represents unmodified sound, while the EQ will give them a little bit of color, so that means it will have more bass or more treble and so on. Honestly, I prefer the flat sound much more. They have a frequency response ranging from 60 Hz to 20 kHz and can output 21 watts each. A 1-inch silk diaphragm tweeter unit with special coating ensures smooth and natural treble, and the specially designed integrated front panel combined with the cone brings clearer diffusion of the high frequency. Moderate MICA added to the traditional PP cone keeps the hearing of softness and relaxation with more natural details and strengthens the rigidness and hardness of the cone to enhance the low frequency and to extend the depth of bass. So different from other entry-level monitoring speakers, the MR4 adopts inductive and capacitive second-order frequency dividers so that both the 4-inch woofer and tweeter can acquire better signal input and produce the purity of the sound. On the back of the right speaker, which is the control speaker, we have all the inputs, which include two RCA unbalanced jacks, and by unbalanced I mean that they do not have a shield, so interference can occur. This does not mean it will, it just might. And this is why Edifier included two additional TRS balanced jacks, which aside from positive and negative connections, have a third one which is used as a shield and it will block all the interference from the outside. Since these are studio monitoring speakers, this is kind of mandatory connection which can be used to connect console, mixer or other professional equipment with the input sensitivity of +4 dBu to build a small music production system. Bear in mind that if you have an audio interface like Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 for example like I have here, if you use TRS connection, volume will be lower than on RCA jacks, and this is by design because in the case of TRS connection a second amp will kick in on these speakers and the sound will be processed differently. So this is why in the specs we have two listings for balanced outputs, the +4 dBu and -10 dBV for unbalanced outputs. The TRS method is preferred for music production or video editing because you will have the most flat sound, the most flattest sound and the better stereo separation. So compared to the PreSonus Eris E3.5, this will require more volume from the source if run on TRS connection. But if I compare them equally, I can't differentiate the sound coming from them because both sound exceptionally good for this price, which is exactly $120 and also both of these speakers have an additional bass and treble knobs on the back, so you can EQ the sound to your liking if you think that they lack or need more offset tweaks. In my opinion, Edifier speakers are a little bit better built. They are heavier and have a feeling of a better overall quality. Sound is impressive as well as connectivity features. So if you decide to get these speakers, there is no doubt you will have a great experience with them. So for music production or video editing on a budget, these are the better option than the PreSonus. The sound reproduction is better as they have more flat sound, so they represent a natural state for further mixing in the post-production. It's worth mentioning that these speakers were tested and calibrated by the German Klippel company, so they meet all the standards necessary to be called studio monitors. Thanks goes to Edifier and to you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel, it really helps a lot. Smash that like button and hit the bell so you don't miss my future videos. Don't forget to leave a like and comment which speakers you are using, and I would like to know that, so I'll see you in the next one.